In resale condominium agreement of purchase and sale, the condominium rules may be affixed as a schedule to that agreement. True or false? True. Agreement includes buyer's acknowledgement of the condominium rules that must be followed. True or false? Landlords want tenants to have tenants insurance because this removes the landlord's liability and responsibility to pay for any damages. False. Landlords are ultimately responsible for any damage caused by their tenant. If the tenant's insurance doesn't provide enough coverage to pay for damages, then the landlord's insurance will need to cover the remainder. In most cases, a landlord can enter a rental unit for the reasons allowed under the Residential Tenancies Act by giving 24-hour written notice, except emergency or mutual consent. True or false? Even when included in the lease agreed by the tenant to share work with the landlord for mowing grass or snow removal, such clauses are not legally enforceable under Residential Tenancies Act. True. These works are considered landlord obligations. True or false? Even when included in the lease agreed by the tenant to share work with the landlord. True. These works are considered landlord obligations. True or false? No pit clause in a tenancy agreement is void and unenforceable. True. Even if the tenant agrees in the lease that they would not bring a pit into the unit, landlord cannot evict the tenant. If a buyer, what are the four? Residential Code of True or false? Rent roll can provide details about gross rental income that can be used as a component of the income approach to value investment property / application of a rent multiplier. In a sublet, terms of the rental agreement and landlord-tenant relationship will remain unchanged. Original tenant ultimately remains responsible should the subtenant breach a provision within the lease, such as not paying the rent. Residential Tenancies Act prohibits some actions by the tenant, such as 1. Change lock without landlord's permission. 2. Tenant cannot withhold rent for any reason, such as when the landlord fails to properly maintain the building unit. Tenancy can arise when no lease exists. Tenant has the possession, with or without rent but with landlord's consent. Deposit and prepaid rent clause on agreement to lease is often referred to as first and last. Deposit and prepaid rent clause on agreement to lease is often referred to as first and last. Deposit and prepaid rent clause on agreement to lease is often referred to as first and last. On seller take-back mortgage, what are the benefits of the buyer? Alternate mortgage financing, saving on costs and timing for financing, negotiable interest rate and terms. Why the representations or warranties clause added in the agreement of purchase and sale? To protect the seller or buyer with respect to some existing fact or event that could be the basis for rescinding or revoking an agreement if found false. True or false, the offer process is a closed offer process. Step 1. Make a copy of the original offer. Step 2. Amend the offer by crossing out the original text and inserting the change. Step 3. Change the irrevocable. Step 4. Initial changes. Step 5. Present the counter offer to the buyer. Step 6. Complete confirmation of acceptance and acknowledgement. True or false, if the condition precedent clause includes a waiver provision and the condition is being waived rather than fulfilled, a waiver notice is provided. True or false, mortgage assumption is easy, which does not require approval of the mortgagee because the property will remain as security. False, mortgage assumption for residential property requires approval from the mortgagee. That is why mortgage condition is so important. True or false, title insurance insures minor encroachment issues. True, title insurance can protect the buyer against certain known defects.